It being 6 o'clock, I will call the public hearing to order for September 24th, 2018. The purpose of the hearing is to hear any representation from the public with regards to rezoning application 2018-02 submitted by Randy,
Wisco CP First Nation.
Thank you very much. Holding limited to rezone parcel A, plan 61264, from commercial industrial zone to commercial central zone in permit the construction of an office building. Anyone here to speak for or opposed to that? I assume that's you.
Well, I'll answer questions. I'm obviously for. I can provide some information on so come up. Okay.
I personally, I don't have any questions, but perhaps other members of council do.
Are there any questions on the development or proposed development?
Why don't you just give us a quick rundown of
Okay.
what the plan is?
Yeah, I was going to give you a little bit of information. So we've been sort of working off and on this in terms of looking at some kind of office facility in there since about 2014 or so, and I've been working with Randy on and off of this. And so we're looking at, and I just got indication from Chief recently that we sort of got a green light to go on the thing. So we're looking at an office building that will consolidate a lot of health services. So there's First Nation Health Services have various offices around the PAW. So we're looking to consolidate that into one building. There was some discussion a couple months ago around possibly needing a convenience store or putting a convenience store in there. And I contacted Jen to see if that would be acceptable within the zoning type. Excuse me. And she said, yeah, that would work. The latest I've heard from it the other day is that we're probably maybe looking more like a pharmacy maybe or something like that. Possibly some chiropractic office in there. The one kicker is that my recollection, I know when we were talking one of the original one, we were talking 3-story, and I think your zoning is that 2-story. It was then, it's still there?
Yeah, what we did was, it was changed years ago back to the 2-story, just because of fire hazard and stuff like that. I think if there was a request to do anything 3-story, we would have to have a conversation on providing fire protection services and at what expense.
Okay, so the latest I heard, we were talking 3-story before, the latest I heard was 4-story. So, you know, I was assuming that if that was the final proposal that comes in, is that we'd seek a variance, I imagine. But then that would be part of that conversation, I guess.
Yeah, you can apply for a variation, and there's a good possibility the council would put some stipulations on it.
Okay. So that's pretty well it in a nutshell.
Anybody else? Yep, Brian?
Just one question. In your plan on your layout, is there going to be sufficient parking space left available as per the bylaws, so we don't experience a request for a variance down the road?
That would be my expectation. So when we were working on this before, well, you know, I had your guidelines around that. They're called bulk. Is that the bulk? What you call it?
Bulk requirements.
Bulk requirements. So yeah, we were certain, because we actually did have a design on the building at one time, because we were actually trying to fit it within the lot. There was some challenges in fitting it within the lot. And so absolutely, I mean, we were paying attention to that at that time, and we were able to meet it under that proposal. So I would assume that we would, you know, I can't say right now, but I'm assuming that, you know, we would initially start to try to meet the meet requirements.
Right. The only reason that came to my mind was because from what your application said, if there's going to be multiple uses, therefore there's multiple requirements potentially for parking for different things. So just be wary of that it doesn't become a problem.
Well, okay, so what I will do is I'll red flag that in terms of the building design as being a concern of council.
I think, Dan, we had also talked at one point if it meant going into the town land along the public reserve in the back, that was something we would consider. And we'd also talked about the lots in front of your property that were privately owned.
Yeah.
That would accommodate all that.
Yeah. And that, I mean, that might be an option. There's been some discussion about purchase of that as well, eh? That big parking lot right in front.
Yeah. When would
There's
you...
there's actually, plus there's an old road allowance in there that you guys used to own, but you sold over to them, so there's that road allowance is adjacent to our property as well.
When would you anticipate construction beginning?
This summer of 2018 is what I was told the last time.
It's a good answer.
Okay, I can try to get that for you
Yeah.
if you want.
That'd be interesting.
Okay.
Anything else? Okay, I will then adjourn the hearing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time. Oh, I guess the one thing is, when will we hear about this with the decision?
It's going to committee of the whole for discussion after this, and then October 9th, there'll be a decision made.
Okay, thank you very much.